Now we'll be making our second dish for today, which is authentic meat sauce lasagna. Starting making actually the tomato meat sauce. The stove is already hot. Extra virgin olive oil. Onions, carrot and celery, which is the soffritto. Start stirring, and we take a good 5 minutes before they get soft and nice. I love the smell. Now we'll be adding our ground beef. Remember, it doesn't have to be lean or extra lean. You can use just a medium ground beef. In fact, the fat of the beef will enhance the flavor of your meat sauce. Now that our beef is nice and brown, we'll be adding our strained tomatoes. Even plum tomatoes are good. Stir well enough, letting the vegetables, the ground beef and the tomatoes getting all together. Once your sauce starts simmering, add your salt and nutmeg. Now you can turn down the heat and let the sauce reduce for at least an hour or until it's nice and thick. I can tell the sauce is getting very nice. Now we're making the noodle for the lasagna. Take 3 cups of flour, be adding a pinch of salt, 4 eggs, one at a time, drizzle of oil, and then start your machine at the lower speed. Check your dough. If it is too dry, just add a little bit more water. Now that the dough is ready, we'll be just sprinkling some flour on a countertop. And like for the pizza dough, just finishing up with your hands. Now that the dough is done, we will let it rest for 10 minutes before making our noodles. And now we'll be making another important component for our lasagna, which is our bechamel sauce. A very simple flour, butter, and milk. We'll be starting melting 70 grams of butter. The butter has to melt very well, so to be able for the flour to be incorporated. Now the butter is nice and melted, adding 70 grams of flour, even little at a time. You don't want any lumps in your bechamel. As you can see, we are creating a thick paste, butter and flour. Once you have this kind of paste, turn down a little bit the heat so it won't burn, and start adding 1 liter of milk, little at a time. You can use any kind of milk. For our ladies, I'm using skim. The sauce will be starting thickening up a little bit. Remember, the quantity of the butter and the flour has to be the same. You want everything to be fluid, and that's why you have to add the milk a little bit at a time and let it thicken up the sauce. Don't keep the heat too high, otherwise you will burn your sauce. And then keep stirring, because that's the fun part of making our bechamel. Now that the sauce reached a nice thickness, I'll be adding salt and the other secret ingredients that nobody ever gets, a pinch of nutmeg. Try not to let the sauce boil. And now that we have our 3 key ingredients for our lasagna, let the fun begin. Assemble it. So we'll be starting taking our dough and flatten into our lasagna sheets, then layer with our meat sauce we made before and our bechamel sauce we just made. We start taking pieces of dough out of our bowl, little by little. Sprinkle some flour so it won't stick in our machine, and start getting through the machine. The machine, they have different thickness, so we start from number 1 until it gets nice and even. Every time you pass it into the number 1, fold it up a couple of times and pass it into your flour. As you can see now, our sheet is already becoming nice and even. I cut it in half, so it'll be easier to make it as thin as we desire. As you can see, the sheet is nice and thin, ready to be layered with the rest of the ingredients. We start spreading a little base of meat sauce. I like to start with the meat sauce first, so it also works as a non-stick agent for our lasagna. Then place your lasagna sheets on top. It's time for the bechamel. Thin layer of bechamel spread all over. If you wish, you can also add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So repeat this operation until you finish the ingredients or you reach the amount of layers you desire. I like more or less 5 layers in total, 2 of meat sauce, 2 of bechamel, and top it up with the beautiful meat sauce. It's lasagna. It doesn't matter how you put your layer. authentic Italian lasagna. So the last 15 minutes for the lasagna is up. Let's take it out of the oven. Here your beautiful lasagna. Let it cool down for at least 20 minutes and then enjoy it. Soft, saucy. That's exactly what I was looking for. I guess you can get anything more comfortable than this. Enjoy. This was Semplicemente Italiano. Hope you enjoyed your slice of Italy.